birth scene was, you know, same as John, when I read that in the script, I had never seen anything like that in a script before, on screen before. I'm not aware of anything done like that cinematically before. I've never, it was, yeah, it took words out of my mouth. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I knew that I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to participate. It felt like an action sequence. It felt like the central action sequence of this, like the Indiana Jones action sequence of this film. Including from leaving the house through till having given birth in the ambulance. It felt like the big, you know, the traffic jam and losing Albert in the traffic jam. You know, having to, you know, it all felt like Indiana Jones to me. And then, of course, a person who has never done anything remotely medical before, being given the responsibility of the two most precious lives in the world at that very moment, in the middle of a very dirty bathroom, as someone who's a clean freak. It's so much to play, and it's so much, and I was surprised by how it felt to me when we were shooting it, like it was so interesting, the shift that happens between giving birth and the delivery. Because I think the giving birth for Tobias in that moment feels very, very dangerous, like there's actually some big mammoth elephant monster inside my wife that I have to protect her from and protect myself from. That's how it started. And then once the birth happened, that big mammoth creature that's going to destroy us shrinks and becomes this little mythical, most magical thing that is suddenly in my care that I have no idea it was going to slip out of my hand. So I think the acting of it was some of the most joyous, most fun, most connected, full of imagination acting I've ever had to do, and playful and sweet and funny and such high stakes. But it's so funny when the highest of stakes can become incredibly funny. And watching it with an audience in Toronto, it felt like, oh yeah, it's a pretty funny scene. Because at the time it felt like the most life or death scene you could possibly shoot. And yeah, so we did that over 2 days in a set that was created in a studio in London. And at the end of it, Florence and I didn't want to leave the toilet. We didn't want to leave because it felt like we had conjured so much, and we had a baby in there with us at the end of the second day. We had this 11-day-old baby that was brought in as an actor with us, and that we thought we were going deep, and then the baby came in, and we were like, oh my god! So we didn't want to leave after the final take was done. We just kind of held each other for 20 minutes in that room. It felt like we had created this strange, holy, spiritual cathedral out of this, you know, petrol station toilet. Like something holy had happened there. And it was, yeah, it was a very, very beautiful scene to shoot.